Did you know that nearly 70% of seniors regularly consume nuts that are silently wreaking havoc on their health? Yes, you heard that right. What many consider to be healthy, snacks packed with fiber, proteins, and good fats, can actually be fueling inflammation, muscle loss, and even heart complications. But it's not your fault. For years we've been told that all nuts are universally good for us. Magazines, health blogs, even doctors recommend them without a second thought. But here's the catch: not all nuts are created equal. Some, when eaten regularly, can actually accelerate the very conditions we're trying to prevent, like arthritis, high cholesterol, and memory decline. Others, on the other hand, can fortify bones, boost brain power, and protect your heart as you age. So, how do you know which is which? How do you separate the silent killers from the true protectors? In this video, we are going to reveal the 5 nuts you should absolutely avoid if you're over 60. Some of these might be sitting in your pantry right now, quietly damaging your body with every handful. But don't worry, we won't leave you there. We'll also show you the 5 powerhouse nuts you should be eating, instead the ones that strengthen bones, protect your memory, and fight inflammation. And trust me, you don't want to miss nut number 4 because it's one that almost no one talks about. Yet it contains a hidden compound that could be quietly damaging your health. So if you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, this might be one of the most important nutrition lessons you'll ever learn. Let's jump right in, starting with the 5 nuts that could be silently harming your health. Number 1. Bitter almonds. Bitter almonds might look harmless, just like the sweet almonds you add to your cereal or snack on during the day. But hidden inside these tiny nuts is a toxic compound called amygdalin. When digested, amygdalin transforms into cyanide, a poison that can interfere with how your body uses oxygen. Just 4 to 5 raw bitter almonds can cause symptoms like lightheadedness, nausea, or confusion. If you eat more than 10, the results can be severe enough to require emergency care. The reason this happens is that the body's ability to break down toxins like cyanide declines with age. This makes seniors especially vulnerable to even small amounts. Cooking or processing bitter almonds destroys the danger, but eating them raw, as some so-called natural health sources recommend, is not just risky. It can be outright harmful. And to make things more confusing, bitter almonds are often sold as apricot kernels or labeled as detox aids. But let's be clear, there is no detox in cyanide. For seniors looking to stay sharp, energized, and independent, bitter almonds are one to avoid entirely. But they're not the only nut you should be cautious of. Up next is a nut that's probably in your kitchen right now, loved by many, but quietly fueling inflammation and even more hidden risks. Number 2. The silent killers. 5 nuts you should avoid. Not all nuts are created equal. While some can build strength, boost brain power, and protect your heart, others are quietly working against your health, especially as you age. Today, we're diving deep into the 5 most dangerous nuts that could be sabotaging your well-being without you even realizing it. 1. Bitter almonds. The hidden cyanide threat. You might be surprised to learn that not all almonds are safe to eat. While sweet almonds are packed with vitamins and healthy fats, bitter almonds are a completely different story. These seemingly harmless nuts contain a natural compound called amygdalin. When digested, amygdalin turns into cyanide, a powerful poison that blocks your cells from using oxygen. And when your cells are deprived of oxygen, the consequences can be severe. Just 4 to 5 raw bitter almonds can cause symptoms like lightheadedness, nausea, and confusion. Eat more than 10, and you could be facing an emergency room visit. As we age, our bodies lose some of their natural ability to detoxify, making seniors particularly vulnerable to even small amounts of cyanide. What makes it worse, bitter almonds are sometimes sold as apricot kernels or marketed as detox supplements. But let's be clear, there is no detox in cyanide. Cooking or processing bitter almonds does destroy the poison, but eating them raw is simply not worth the risk. If you want to keep your health protected, bitter almonds should be crossed off your list entirely. But they're not the only nuts silently harming your health. 2. Peanuts, the moldy truth in inflammation. Trap. Peanuts are everywhere. Trail Mix peanut butter protein bars. They're cheap, they're filling, and they're tasty. But here's what no one tells you. Peanuts aren't even true nuts. They belong to the legume family, and they grow underground, making them especially vulnerable to aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are toxic compounds produced by molds that thrive in warm, humid conditions. These molds can contaminate peanuts during growth harvest or storage, and when you consume aflatoxins, they don't just disappear. They accumulate in your body, affecting your liver and weakening your immune system. In fact, aflatoxins are classified as a Group 1 carcinogen, the highest level of cancer risk. But the dangers don't stop there. Peanuts are also incredibly high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't inherently bad. Your body needs it. The problem is balance. Most people consume far too much omega-6 and not nearly enough omega-3, leading to chronic inflammation. And for seniors, this can mean worsening arthritis, heart disease, and even memory decline. If you're taking blood thinners, peanuts carry yet another risk. They contain vitamin K, which can interfere with your medication, raising the risk of dangerous clots or unexpected bleeding. Even that jar of peanut butter in your pantry isn't safe. Many commercial brands are loaded with added sugar salt and hydrogenated oils. This combination quietly raises your blood pressure and increases strain on your heart. If you want to protect your health, it might be time to swap that peanut butter for a safer alternative. But there's another nut that's even sneakier, one that seems luxurious and healthy, but is silently contributing to muscle loss and weight gain. 3. Macadamia nuts, the hidden calorie bomb. Macadamia nuts are often praised for their rich, buttery flavor. They're found in gourmet chocolates, desserts, and trail mixes. But here's the reality. Macadamia nuts are incredibly high in fat, mostly monounsaturated fat. Now, while monounsaturated fats are considered healthy, the sheer concentration of fat in macadamias makes them a calorie bomb. Just a small handful, about 10 to 12 nuts, contains nearly 200 calories. For seniors who are less active, this can quickly add up, leading to unwanted weight gain. And weight gain isn't just about the numbers on the scale. Extra pounds put added strain on your joints, making it harder to walk, climb stairs, or even get out of a chair. But it's not just the calories. Macadamia nuts are also low in protein and fiber. These two nutrients are essential for muscle maintenance and digestion. Without them, your muscles weaken and your metabolism slows, leading to fatigue and reduced mobility. To make matters worse, many store-bought macadamia nuts are roasted in inflammatory oils and heavily salted, increasing the risk of high blood pressure and joint stiffness. If you're looking to stay active, and strong macadamias are a luxury, best enjoyed rarely. Next, let's talk about a tiny nut that hides big risks. Up next is pine nuts, and the dangers might surprise you. 4. Pine nuts, the medication interferer. Pine nuts are small, delicate, and often sprinkled over salads or blended into pesto. But don't let their size fool you. These tiny seeds carry risks that are easy to overlook, especially if you're on medication. Pine nuts contain pinolenic acid, which can interfere with common medications. Blood pressure medications, cholesterol-lowering statins, and even heart rhythm drugs can be disrupted by regular pine nut consumption. This interference can lead to sudden spikes in blood pressure, erratic heartbeats, or unexpected clotting issues. A clinical review published in Frontiers in Nutrition in 2022 highlighted the risks, showing that pinolenic acid alters how the liver processes certain medications. This means your regular dose may not work as intended, or worse, it could build up to toxic levels. But it's not just about medications. Pine nuts are also known for causing pine mouth, a metallic bitter taste that lingers for days or even weeks. For seniors who may already struggle with appetite, this can lead to reduced food intake, weaker muscles, and slower recovery from illness. If you want to stay safe, it's best to avoid pine nuts altogether. And finally, we move to one of the most surprising dangers, cashews. 5. Cashews, the bone thief. Cashews are creamy delicious and often marketed as heart-healthy. But beneath that smooth texture lies a hidden threat: oxalates. Oxalates are compounds that bind with calcium, preventing your body from absorbing it properly. For seniors, this is a huge problem. Calcium is essential for bone strength and density. Without enough of it, bones become fragile, increasing the risk of fractures and falls. And the dangers don't stop there. Cashews are also high in carbohydrates, which can spike blood sugar levels. This is especially dangerous for seniors managing pre-diabetes or diabetes. Over time, those spikes can damage blood vessels in your legs and feet, leading to poor circulation and slow healing wounds. But the hidden danger: cashews also increase the risk of kidney stones. The oxalates that block calcium also crystallize in your kidneys, causing pain and potential damage. We've uncovered the 5 silent killers: bitter almonds, peanuts, macadamias, pine nuts, and cashews. Each one carries its own risks, from inflammation to hidden toxins. But don't worry. Up next, we're going to reveal the powerhouse nuts that do the exact opposite. They don't just protect your health, they build it stronger with every handful. Are you ready to discover which ones they are? Let's move on to the best nuts that you should be adding to your diet right now. Number 3. The powerhouses. 5 nuts you must eat for better health. We've just uncovered the hidden dangers lurking in some of the most common nuts. But it's not all bad news. In fact, there are certain nuts that do the exact opposite. Instead of draining your energy or contributing to inflammation, these powerhouse nuts work with your body to build strength, protect your heart, and even boost brain health. Let's start with the first on the list: chestnuts. 1. Chestnuts, the low-fat energy booster. Unlike most other nuts, chestnuts are incredibly low in fat. They're packed with complex carbohydrates and fiber, making them an excellent source of steady energy. For seniors, this is crucial. Complex carbs release energy, slowly preventing those spikes and crashes in blood sugar that leave you feeling drained. Plus, chestnuts are one of the few nuts that are rich in vitamin C. Yes, you heard that right. While most nuts are known for healthy fats, chestnuts are a unique source of vitamin C, essential for collagen production, immune support, and even iron absorption. Studies show that people who consume chestnuts regularly tend to have better blood sugar control and healthier cholesterol levels. They're also rich in antioxidants like gallic acid and ellagic acid, which fight free radicals and protect your cells from aging. A small handful of roasted chestnuts can be the perfect snack to keep you energized throughout the day. You can even chop them into rice dishes, soups, or salads for an added nutritional boost. But we're just getting started. The next nut on our list is not only good for your bones, but also your memory. Let's talk about almonds. 2. Almonds, the all-around protector. If there's one nut that deserves to be called a powerhouse, it's almonds. Packed with calcium, magnesium, and monounsaturated fats, almonds are like a multivitamin for your bones and brain. First, let's talk about your bones. As we age, our bone density naturally declines, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. Almonds are rich in calcium, which is essential for maintaining strong bones. But that's not all. Almonds also contain magnesium, a mineral that helps your body actually absorb and use that calcium effectively. Think of magnesium as the gatekeeper, ensuring that calcium gets to your bones instead of clogging up your arteries. Almonds are also a powerhouse for brain health. They're high in vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your brain cells from damage. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who consume almonds regularly tend to have sharper memory and better cognitive function. If you want to keep your mind sharp and your bones strong, a handful of almonds each day is one of the simplest changes you can make. But if almonds protect your bones, the next nut on our list protects something just as important, your mind. Let's move on to walnuts. 3. Walnuts, the brain booster. There's something poetic about the way walnuts look like tiny brains, and it's not just a coincidence. Walnuts are packed with ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. This powerful nutrient supports cognitive function and helps keep brain cells flexible and healthy. For seniors, maintaining brain health is crucial not just for memory, but for clarity and coordination as well. But that's not all. Walnuts are also rich in polyphenols, which act as natural defenders against brain inflammation. They protect neurons from oxidative stress, which is one of the leading causes of memory decline and cognitive diseases. One study even found that seniors who consumed walnuts regularly performed better on memory and processing tests than those who didn't. And here's a little secret: walnuts contain natural melatonin. That means they not only help with brain function, but also improve your sleep quality. A small handful before bedtime could be the key to a restful night. Next, we move on to a nut that's not as popular but incredibly powerful: Brazil nuts. 4. Brazil nuts, the hormone regulator. You might not think much about your thyroid, but it's the control center for your metabolism. And Brazil nuts are packed with selenium, a mineral that's essential for keeping your thyroid running smoothly. Here's why this matters. As you age, your thyroid function naturally starts to decline, which can lead to weight gain, muscle loss, and even fatigue. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day is enough to meet your daily selenium needs. Think of it as a tiny shield protecting your hormones and your energy levels. But it doesn't stop there. Brazil nuts also support testosterone production in both men and women. This helps maintain muscle mass, bone strength, and even mood stability. It's incredible how such a small nut can have such a profound impact on your health. Finally, we end with a nut that not only protects your heart, but also sharpens your vision. Pistachios. 5. Pistachios, the heart and vision protector. If you've been told to avoid salty snacks as you age, pistachios are a delicious exception. They're rich in potassium, which helps balance sodium levels and supports healthy blood pressure. But pistachios do more than just protect your heart. They're loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful antioxidants that safeguard your eyes from macular degeneration. As we age, our vision naturally starts to decline. But these 2 antioxidants help filter out harmful blue light and reduce oxidative damage. And here's a fun fact: the act of shelling pistachios slows down your eating, encouraging mindful snacking, which can help with weight control. A small handful of pistachios daily not only boosts your heart health, but also keeps your vision sharp and your energy steady. We've covered 5 incredible nuts that can transform your health: chestnuts for energy, almonds for bones, walnuts for the brain, Brazil nuts for hormone balance, and pistachios for heart and eye protection. But here's the big question: how do you bring these superfoods into your daily routine? Up next, I'll show you how to choose, store, and enjoy these powerhouse nuts to maximize their benefits. Because eating them the right way is just as important as choosing the right ones. Are you ready to make the switch and feel the difference? Let's move on to the next part and discover how you can integrate these nuts seamlessly into your life. Number 4. How to choose and store nuts for maximum benefits. Now that you know which nuts to avoid and which ones to embrace, it's time to talk about something just as important: how to choose and store your nuts properly. Because even the healthiest nuts can lose their power, or worse, become harmful if they're not handled correctly. Let's start with choosing the right nuts. When you're shopping, it's tempting to reach for the big bulk bags or the convenient snack packs. But there's something you need to know. Nuts are incredibly sensitive to heat, light, and air. When they're exposed to these elements for too long, they can turn rancid. Rancid nuts not only lose their nutritional value, but they also produce harmful compounds that can damage your cells. So how do you pick the right ones? 1. Always choose raw and unsalted. The best nuts are raw, unsalted, and unroasted. Roasting nuts, especially at high temperatures, can cause the healthy fats to oxidize, creating harmful free radicals. And while a little salt might add flavor, it also adds unnecessary sodium to your diet, something most of us don't need more of. 2. Look for organic and non-GMO. If possible, always opt for organic and non-GMO nuts. Conventional farming often involves pesticides that can linger on the surface of the nuts. For example, peanuts are notorious for being sprayed with heavy pesticides. Choosing organic reduces your exposure to these harmful chemicals. 3. Check the packaging. Nuts should always be stored in airtight, opaque containers. Clear plastic bags or jars might look pretty on the shelf, but they expose the nuts to light and air, speeding up the oxidation process. If you're buying from bulk bins, be cautious. There's no way to know how long those nuts have been sitting out or how often they've been exposed to air. 4. Smell and inspect. When you open a bag of nuts, take a moment to smell them. If you detect any hint of a sour or paint-like smell, that's a sign of rancidity. Fresh nuts should smell neutral or slightly earthy. Also, give them a quick look if you see mold or tiny white spots. It's best to toss them out. Now that you've chosen the right nuts, how you store them is just as critical. Nuts are high in natural oils, which means they can spoil faster than you think. 1. Airtight containers are key. As soon as you open a bag of nuts, transfer them to an airtight container. Glass jars with sealed lids or BPA-free plastic containers work best. This prevents exposure to moisture and air, keeping your nuts fresh for longer. 2. Store in a cool, dark place. Nuts should always be kept away from heat and sunlight. A pantry is good, but if you want maximum freshness, consider storing them in the refrigerator or freezer. Most nuts can last up to 6 months in the fridge and 1 year in the freezer. Yes, that's right. Your freezer isn't just for vegetables and meat. It's perfect for nuts too. 3. Avoid storing near strong odors. Nuts can absorb the smells around them. If you keep them next to onions, garlic, or other strong-scented foods, you might find that they pick up those flavors. And nobody wants garlic-flavored walnuts in their morning oatmeal. 4. Label and date. If you decide to freeze your nuts, always label the container with the date you put them in. This makes it easy to track how long they've been stored, so you don't end up using old stale nuts by accident. Taking the time to choose high-quality nuts and store them properly can make all the difference. Fresh, well-kept nuts not only taste better, but they also retain all those powerful nutrients that support your brain, heart, and bones. But what about eating them? You might be wondering how much is too much. Up next, I'm going to reveal the common mistakes people make when consuming nuts. We'll talk about portion control, best times to eat them, and how to avoid those sneaky calories that add up faster than you think. Get ready, because understanding the right way to eat nuts could be the key to unlocking even greater health benefits. Number 5. Common mistakes and myths about nuts. We've talked about the best nuts to eat, the ones you should avoid, and even how to store them properly. But what if I told you that many people, even those with the best intentions, are making crucial mistakes when it comes to consuming nuts? Mistakes that not only strip away the health benefits, but can actually cause more harm than good. Let's dive into the most common mistakes and myths about nuts so you can make sure you're getting the absolute best from these nutritional powerhouses. 1. Believing that all nuts are heart healthy. We hear it all the time. Nuts are good for your heart. While it's true that certain nuts like almonds, walnuts, and pistachios support heart health, it's not a blanket rule for all nuts. As we mentioned earlier, nuts like peanuts and cashews can contribute to inflammation and disrupt cholesterol balance. Peanuts, for example, are high in omega-6 fatty acids, When consumed excessively, they can cause inflammation, which is the very thing that leads to heart issues over time. To truly benefit your heart, you need to focus on the right types of nuts and consume them in moderation. It's not just about eating nuts, it's about eating the right ones. 2. Overeating nuts. Because they're healthy. This is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. Yes, nuts are incredibly nutritious. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and antioxidants. But they're also incredibly calorie-dense. Just 1 ounce of almonds, about 23 nuts, contains 160 calories. A couple of handfuls throughout the day, and you've easily added 500 calories without even noticing. For seniors where metabolism naturally slows down, this can quickly lead to weight gain. And it's not just about the number on the scale. Extra weight puts pressure on your joints, strains your heart, and can even make it harder to control blood sugar. So what's the solution? Portion control. A small handful around 1 ounce is enough to get the benefits without the added calories. If you're not sure, use a measuring cup or pre-portion your servings ahead of time. 3. Thinking natural means safe. You've probably seen labels that say, all natural, and it's tempting to think that means it's good for you. But here's the truth. Natural doesn't always mean safe. Remember, bitter almonds. They're natural, but they contain cyanide. Or how about raw cashews? The ones sold in stores are actually steamed because truly, raw cashews contain urushiol, the same toxic compound found in poison ivy. It's crucial to know what you're consuming. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it's good for your health. 4. Ignoring the signs of rancidity. Nuts are high in natural oils, and when these oils are exposed to light heat or air for too long, they turn rancid. Rancid nuts don't just taste bad, they're actually harmful. The oxidation process produces free radicals which can damage your cells and accelerate aging. So how do you know if your nuts are rancid? It's simple, use your senses. If they smell sour or like paint thinner, they've gone bad. If they taste bitter or leave a strange aftertaste, it's time to toss them. Always remember, fresh nuts are not just tastier, they're safer and healthier. 5. Buying flavored or candied nuts. Honey roasted, chocolate-covered, barbecue spiced. It's easy to get drawn in by these delicious variations. But here's what you need to know. These flavored nuts are often packed with sugar, sodium, and preservatives. What was once a healthy snack turns into a calorie-dense, inflammation-triggering food. If you want that extra flavor, it's far better to roast your own nuts at home with a light sprinkle of natural spices. You get the taste without the harmful additives. 6. Forgetting to rotate your selection. One mistake that many people make is sticking to the same type of nut day after day. While it's great to have favorites, your body benefits from variety. Each type of nut has its own unique blend of nutrients. For example, almonds are high in calcium. Walnuts are rich in omega-3s. Brazil nuts provide selenium. Pistachios are fantastic for vision health. Rotating your choices throughout the week ensures you get a balanced intake of vitamins and minerals. It also reduces the risk of developing a sensitivity to any one type. 7. Thinking nut milk is as good as whole nuts. Nut milk is popular, almond milk, cashew milk, and now even walnut milk. But here's the truth. Nut milk is often heavily diluted. A cup of almond milk might contain just a handful of actual almonds. On top of that, many brands add sugar stabilizers and preservatives. While it's a good option if you're lactose intolerant, it shouldn't replace whole nuts in your diet. The fiber, protein, and healthy fats that you get from eating whole nuts simply aren't present in the same amounts in nut milk. We've uncovered some of the most common mistakes that could be stealing away the health benefits of your favorite snacks. It's not just about eating nuts, it's about eating them wisely. Choose the right kinds, watch your portions, store them properly, and be mindful of added flavors and toxins. Up next, we'll show you exactly how to incorporate the powerhouse nuts into your daily routine for maximum health benefits. You'll learn the best times to eat them, delicious ways to add them to your meals, and how just a handful a day can transform your health. Are you ready to take your nutrition to the next level? Let's explore how to turn these nuts into a daily habit that protects your heart, sharpens your mind, and strengthens your body. Number 6. Conclusion. Making smarter choices for long-term health. We've journeyed through the world of nuts, uncovering the hidden dangers of some and discovering the incredible benefits of others. And if there's one thing that's clear, it's this: not all nuts are created equal. Some, like bitter almonds, peanuts, macadamia, nuts, pine nuts, and cashews, carry risks that are often hidden beneath their familiar shells. Whether it's toxic compounds, high levels of omega-6, or dangerous mold contamination, these seemingly harmless snacks can silently work against your health, especially as you age. But it doesn't have to be this way. You now know which ones to avoid and, just as importantly, which ones to embrace. We've highlighted the powerhouse nuts that truly nourish your body: chestnuts for steady energy and heart health, almonds for strong bones and a sharper mind, walnuts for brain protection and restful sleep, Brazil nuts for hormone regulation and a healthy thyroid, pistachios for heart support and clear vision. When you choose the right nuts, you're not just snacking, you're making an investment in your health. You're giving your body the tools it needs to fight inflammation, strengthen bones, protect your brain, and keep your heart beating strong. But let's not forget, it's not just about what you eat. It's also about how you eat it. Storing your nuts properly to preserve their nutrients. Avoiding flavored or sugar-coated varieties that cancel out their benefits. And most importantly, watching your portions, because even the healthiest nuts can become a problem if consumed in excess. Here's a simple rule to remember: a handful a day stored the right way. Keep them fresh, keep them pure, and keep them balanced. A small change, a big difference. You see, making smarter choices isn't about radical change. It's about small, intentional steps that add up over time. Swapping out a handful of peanuts for almonds. Replacing those roasted salted cashews with raw walnuts. Choosing raw organic nuts over processed flavored ones. These changes may seem small, but they're powerful. When you make these better choices every single day, you're building a foundation for long-term health. You're protecting your heart, strengthening your bones, and keeping your mind sharp. And here's the beautiful thing: it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in your health journey, you can begin making smarter choices today. Looking forward. Your health, your choice. Now it's your turn. Look at the nuts in your pantry. Ask yourself, are these helping me or are they hurting me? If they're not serving your health, swap them out. Replace them with the powerhouse options you now know can make a real difference. Because in the end, it's not just about living longer, it's about living stronger. It's about keeping your independence, staying active, and enjoying life with energy and clarity. Up next, we'll take this journey one step further. We're going to explore delicious ways to incorporate these powerhouse nuts into your daily meals. From breakfast to dinner, and even those mid-afternoon snacks, I'm going to show you how simple it can be to make these healthy choices part of your everyday life. Are you ready to turn knowledge into action? Because the right choices start today, and your journey to stronger health begins right now. Number 7. Delicious ways to incorporate powerhouse nuts into your daily meals. Now that you know which nuts can truly benefit your health, the next step is learning how to make them a seamless part of your everyday life. Because knowledge alone isn't enough, you need practical ways to turn those healthy choices into lasting habits. In this section, we're going to explore delicious and easy ways to incorporate these powerhouse nuts into every meal of your day. From breakfast to dinner and even those midday snacks, you'll discover that eating for health can be both nutritious and tasty. 1. Breakfast. Start your day. Right. Breakfast is the perfect time to add that extra boost of nutrition. Imagine waking up to a warm bowl of oatmeal topped with sliced almonds and crushed walnuts. Not only do these nuts add a satisfying crunch, but they also provide plant-based protein and healthy fats that keep you full for hours. For a lighter option, try a yogurt parfait layered with pistachios and fresh berries. The pistachios bring heart-healthy fats, while the berries add a burst of antioxidants. Or if you're in the mood for something different, sprinkle some chestnut flour into your pancake or waffle batter. It's naturally sweet, low in fat, and high in fiber, perfect for a healthy start to your morning. 2. Mid-morning snack. Power up your day. Most of us experience that energy dip around mid-morning. Instead of reaching for sugary snacks, try a handful of Brazil nuts and a piece of fruit. Just 2 Brazil nuts are enough to give you a full day's worth of selenium, a powerful mineral that supports your thyroid and immune system. You can also mix almonds, walnuts, and pistachios into a simple trail mix. Add a few dried cranberries for a touch of natural sweetness. It's the perfect blend of crunch, sweetness, and energy to keep you going strong until lunch. 3. Lunch. Elevate your salads and sandwiches. Lunch is where things get interesting. Salads are an easy way to work in a variety of nuts. Top your favorite greens with sliced almonds for extra crunch and walnuts for their brain-boosting benefits. Drizzle with olive oil and balsamic vinegar, and you've just upgraded your meal to something that's both delicious and incredibly nutritious. If you're more of a sandwich person, swap out the usual spreads for almond butter or cashew butter. Spread it on whole grain bread and top with sliced bananas for a twist on the classic peanut butter sandwich. Not only is it delicious, but it's also much better for your heart and blood sugar levels. 4. Afternoon snack. Keep your energy steady. It's easy to fall into the trap of sugary treats or salty chips during the afternoon slump. But here's a better option. Try pistachios with a handful of fresh grapes. The combination of natural sugars and healthy fats gives you sustained energy without the crash. If you prefer something warm, consider roasting chestnuts in the oven with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Not only does it make your home smell amazing, but it's also a low-fat, high-fiber snack that's perfect for keeping you full and satisfied. 5. Dinner. Adding nutrition without sacrificing flavor. Dinner is another perfect opportunity to bring those powerhouse nuts into your meal. Try adding walnuts to your vegetable stir-fry for extra crunch and omega-3s, or toss some almonds into your grain bowls for a boost of protein and calcium. If you're feeling adventurous, make a pesto sauce using pistachios instead of pine nuts. Blend them with fresh basil olive oil and a touch of garlic, and you've got a heart-healthy sauce that pairs perfectly with whole grain pasta or zucchini noodles. And don't forget about Brazil nuts. Just 2 chopped and sprinkled over a salad can enhance both flavor and nutrition. 6. Dessert. A sweet ending. Without the guilt. Yes, you can enjoy dessert without sacrificing your health. Try baking with almond flour instead of white flour. It's low in carbs, high in protein, and adds a subtle nuttiness to your baked goods. For something truly special, try walnut-crusted apples. Simply slice an apple sprinkle with cinnamon and coat it with crushed walnuts before baking. It's a warm, satisfying treat that's good for your brain and your heart. 7. The secret to making it a habit. The key to success is consistency. Try setting aside a specific place in your kitchen for your healthy nuts. Pre-portion them into small containers so they're always ready to grab and go. And most importantly, experiment with different combinations. Mix almonds with walnuts one day and pistachios with Brazil nuts the next. Your taste buds won't get bored, and neither will your body. We've now covered everything you need to know, the nuts to avoid and why. The powerhouse nuts that protect your body, how to choose, store, and even enjoy them throughout your day. But there's one more step making it part of your life. Because real change doesn't happen overnight, it happens with small intentional choices made every single day. Are you ready to take that next step and truly transform your health? Because the choices you make today are the ones your body will thank you for tomorrow. Final call to action and viewer engagement. Now that you know the secrets of choosing the right nuts, storing them for freshness, and incorporating them into your daily routine, it's time to take action. Because knowledge without action is just potential. It's what you do with it that counts. So here's my challenge to you. Go to your pantry right now. Look at the nuts you have. Are they the silent killers we talked about? Or are they the powerhouse protectors that nourish your body? If you find bitter almonds, salted peanuts, or roasted macadamias, it's time to make a change. Replace them with raw almonds, walnuts, or Brazil nuts. Small changes done consistently lead to powerful results. And I want to hear from you. What nuts do you currently have in your kitchen? Have you been eating some of the ones we recommended avoiding? Or are you already enjoying the powerhouse options? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because when we share our experiences, we all learn from each other. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more ways to improve your health and live stronger for longer. And if you know someone who could benefit from this knowledge, go ahead and share this video with them. Sometimes all it takes is one small change to make a big difference. Remember, your health is in your hands, and the choices you make today are the ones that will shape your tomorrow. Choose wisely, live well, and always nourish your body the way it deserves. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into the secrets of lasting health and vitality. Take care, stay healthy, and make every handful count.